Hey everyone, my name is Mike Tholfsen. I work on the Microsoft Education Product Team and I have a bunch of colleagues here with me today. And welcome to the latest edition of What's New in EDU. And this is a very exciting one because we've got a ton of AI announcements that we made on October 15th. We'll be going through all those things today. Some updates around LTI, Minecraft, Education Insiders, and more. Before we get started, there's been a lot of requests for people who wanted the ISTE session debts. That's the big EdTech conference that we put on in the summer. So there's a link here if you want to download any of those. Those are all available and you can get those right now. There's a link right here across the bottom. And also I'll say this deck's going to be available for everyone to download afterwards. Now the high level summary would be we just announced some really big AI teaching and learning tools that are coming to all education customers. That means anyone with the A SKU, the academic SKU, will get access. There's more than just the teach and the study and learn parts. Those are sort of the high level, exciting announcements. The other thing we announced is, this is maybe a few weeks earlier, but a lot of people never knew this. We are bringing all the Copilot chat into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and OneNote at no extra cost. Now, this is not the full Copilot chat that you get when you get our paid SKU on top. This is just sort of the lightweight version of Copilot chat. You can actually see, get a comparison chart here. If you have the Copilot chat without the Copilot license, you do get a set of AI capabilities built right in. These are just some examples. If you get the license, which is actually going from $30 a month, we brought it down to $18 a month, so the cost is getting cheaper. You get the full Copilot set of features, and you can see there's even more things like researcher and analyst and other things. Now, if you want to learn just the basics, there's been a lot of requests on, hey, how do I just learn the Microsoft 365 Copilot app itself? Again, this is the no-cost one. Things like chat and agents and search and create, all this great stuff. There's a nice tutorial. There's a link to it right here at the bottom. You can use this tutorial. It's a nice step-by-step how-to. So for those that are interested, feel free to check that out. And again, this deck will be available later. And the other high-level announcement that we'll go into more details later, we've got what's called an LTI or LMS integration to bring all sorts of capabilities, including our new AI announcements, into your learning management system. So we'll go in more depth there. That was sort of the high level view. Now to break down what we're going to talk about today, we're going to kick it off with AI for educators. And Max Fritz from the Microsoft Education team is going to be taking the handoff. I will reiterate though, just to make sure it's really clear, there's no extra license needed to be able to use all these things you're about to see in the Teach module. These are coming to all the academic A SKUs. So hopefully that's crystal clear. And Max, I'll let you go.
Thanks, Mike. So I'm here to talk to you about the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. And I'm not negating what Mike just said. The Microsoft 365 Copilot app does not require any special license. Every A SKU, meaning every single person here, has access to this. And what we have built is something called Teach in the Copilot app. So hopefully you've tried the Copilot app before. You can get to there by going to office.com or microsoft365.com or m365.cloud.microsoft. It's also available on Windows. It's available on Mac. And now on that left-hand side rail, we call it, you'll see Teach. And Teach is our home for all of our AI-powered educator tools right in one place. So you're going to see curriculum planning in there, homework and assessments, study aids, modifying content. You're not going to see everything that you see in this little animation today. You should see today the ability to create lesson plans, the ability to create rubrics, and the ability to create flashcards. But we'll be expanding this over time. Over this calendar year, you should see pretty much everything that you see in the screenshot. And I'll walk you through some of it here. So creating things inside of the Teach module is as simple as selecting one of those tiles. The first thing I'll show you is creating lesson plans. So lesson plans, we simply select the lesson plans tool. We enter in some basic information about what we're trying to teach in our class, and it even remembers this for you. We then describe our lesson. Add in some educational standards. We now have educational standards from over 35 countries and every US state. You can reference existing content from Office content inside of your OneDrive or SharePoint, and then it creates a dynamic lesson for you, time-bound into the time that you selected, and you have the ability to enhance the lesson with AI that you see on the right-hand side. So it's going to provide you some suggestions that you might want to use to take the lesson even further. You can change the tone of the lesson, the length, and even the language right in one place. Now, I'm sure a ton of you are going to have questions about which educational standards we support. One of my wonderful colleagues, I'm sure, will paste a link in the chat to that article. But if there are countries that you're not seeing right now or standards you're not seeing, feel free to let us know. Bringing that same standard support, though, we are going to allow you to create lesson plans with Minecraft, actually. So creating those same lessons that we just talked about, but the output is going to be a lesson plan you can actually teach using Minecraft for education. This is going to be available earlier next year, but this is going to be a great way to actually use Microsoft tools to teach your lesson and create the lesson plan all at once. Moving on, we have rubrics with standard support. This is available both inside of Teams assignments that Leif is going to talk about in a little bit, and inside of the Teach module, where you can create a rubric grounded on standards, grounded on your own content, and you can dynamically create this. You can set up criteria using AI, and just like the lesson plans, you can enhance that using AI. Moving right along, coming hopefully in just a little bit here. So later this quarter, you're going to see quiz creation with forms. So prior to now, you've actually had to buy the full Copilot license to do any sort of forms Copilot work, but now you're going to be able to do it directly from the Teach module by selecting, again, that same information that we've shown on every other workflow and grounding those educational standards in place. So you can create quizzes for students to complete or practice with. And speaking of practice, we have a whole new category of activities we call learning activities that Anoo is going to talk about more. These are directly integrated into the Teach module where you can create flashcards today. And in the very near future, you're going to be able to create fill in the blank activities where you're actually able to practice understanding by having students fill out an entire activity. So students will be able to practice this activity. Anoo, again, we'll talk a little bit more about learning activities here soon. And then the third learning activity that's going to be coming to Teach module later this calendar year is matching activities. So you can create matching pairs for students to practice to understand content better. Now, one of my personal favorite things that's going to be in the Teach module soon, but not there yet, is modifying existing content. So everything I've shown so far allows you to create something brand new. It can be grounded on your content that you already have. It can be grounded on educational standards. But a lot of times we know you as educators are actually looking to use existing content you have. Maybe it's something from a past term, maybe it's something from a colleague or district, maybe it's something even you found online. No shame in that. And you want to adapt it to the class you have at hand, the students you have at hand, or your requirements that you have. And so we're introducing these different tools to be able to adapt existing content. And we're starting with aligning content to standards. So paste in or select your lesson plan or your reading or an assignment or a worksheet or whatever it is. Our AI will go over it, determine what kind of content it is, and find the best way to align that to educational standards. Again, selecting from that list that we have. You can enhance this with AI on the right-hand side as well. So you don't have to actually then have to take this file and bring it somewhere else to have Copilot reason on it and make some changes. You can do that right in one place. We're also bringing the ability to differentiate instructions. So go ahead and paste in or write an assignment prompt, and we'll help you adapt that for different levels of learners. We'll help scaffold it out for you, step-by-step, examples, and we'll actually help you with determining the right length. You go ahead and click generate, and you're able to see your differentiated instructions that, again, you can enhance with AI. On top of that, we have adjusting reading level. This one's a fun one. Bring in any text that you want to share with your students or any file that you're looking for your students to read, and we'll help you by adjusting the reading level of this to appropriate level for your students. And on top of that, if you're looking for students to learn some key terms, you can identify those right then and there using AI even or manually. And we'll even create a glossary for you for those key terms so that students can learn even better at the end of their reading. And last but not least, we have the ability to add examples to text. So adding examples, we're going to analyze over the text And we're going to use the LLM knowledge to help add some real world examples, historical examples, or scientific examples at the end of the text to make the learning a little bit more meaningful and relevant to your students. So I went through a lot of features just now. Again, today, I want you to go click on that Teach button. Just go to office.com. You'll see it right away. Try out lesson plans, try out rubrics, try out flashcards, and then keep an eye on Teach for more features rolling out over time. I'm going to hand it over to Leif, who's going to show you how some of this stuff works in other areas of M365.
Thank you very much, Max. So as Max was talking about, these are all available in the M365 Copilot app, which is fantastic to try out, of course. But you're also building those things directly into the tools you use today, which is inside Teams, OneNote. For people using classwork in Teams, we are adding the ability to create with Copilot as well. So if you want to add things like lesson plan or quizzes directly to your Teams, it's now actually an entry point for you inside the classwork module. This is already supporting for lesson plan and flashcard, and as we are adding more functionality, as Max was talking about, we will add those existing inherent classwork as well. Speaking of classwork, we have, of course, Class Notebook, which is a lovely tool. We love OneNote here. And of course, a natural place to add content directly for your students to share. So for instance, you want to share a flashcard or quizzes with your students. So we're now adding the ability directly inside Class Notebook with a Create with Teach, which basically will have the same functionality now, but now automatically put it into your OneNote for you. So it's a quick way to do those things into your OneNote and share it with your students. For people who are using Teams Education, so like assignments, classwork, and so forth, we're adding additional features directly into your flow. So Max was talking about how we are adding Quiz Copilot to help you kind of quickly create these quizzes. We added a long time ago, we added the ability for you directly for rubrics inside assignments too, right? So if you'll have a quick rubrics for you to create aligned to your particular standards. We know we're also adding people help you to do when you're doing feedback as well. It's very time-consuming stuff for you as a teacher, you know that. So in this case, we still want to give you control. So as you are looking through your document or content from the students, you can use the feedback as a scratch pad, basically, for all your thoughts. And then just enhanced feedbacks, we will clean it up for you and suit it for your special tone. That could be like your basic kind of direct tone or instructional tone or coaching tone. They can choose those things. And of course, always change those things directly with AI. Now, if you're using the rubrics, we're also adding the ability for you, and that's already out for all you guys right now, for you also to use rubrics to grade your thing as well. So you can now choose rubrics, grade your points, and then you can choose summarize rubric as feedback. It will take all those kind of settings you had for your rubrics. You can choose language support, of course, and then automatically it will create for you. You can always change to be like maybe bullet points, in this case here, to make it quick and hope it saves some time for you as well. So you can focus on what matters most, which is actually talking to your students, working with your students. And we're also adding in the future the ability for us to read through your document, see all your comments, and actually then summarize those comments for you directly as a feedback as well. So kind of quicker way to get kind of that summarized feedback to your students. Speaking of standards, one thing we want to add also as we are doing assignments right now is adding the ability to link a standard student assignment. So the couple of reasons for that. One is to add it for your instructions, so you can help those things adjust, as Max was talking about. But also you can track over time which assignments align to which standards. You can see over time have you hit all your standards for your assignment as well, to kind of quick way to report those things. So as I said, we're also doing here directly the ability to add those assignments based on a standard itself. So kind of the same thing aligned to standards of before. One thing we heard from both teachers and students is how do we think about help students understand kind of what's the level of AI I can expect from my assignment. It could be like no AI use at all, or maybe full AI use and so forth. So we're adding ability for you to add an assignment we call like an AI use level, and then you can choose kind of for the students, this is full AI use allowed, or brainstorming and so forth, basically. And if you use full AI use, you can actually add a set of prompts for you to use. So when the students are opening up their assignment from their side, they will have a green light to say, yep, this is going to use AI, and you can just open Copilot or directly open Copilot with that prompt you added first place. So it's a quick way to kind of set the right level for the students, and of course for the students to have kind of access to the prompt that you're expecting to use. So quick way of doing those things. And last but not least, as we are rolling out this functionality, we would like to tell you about those things. Of course, we'll see you in the banner right now for our Teach functionality. So a direct link into Teach to use functionality. So now next of talking about how this is all integrated into LMS and LTI. So Mike, you will take it from here.
Thank you, Leif. So I'll be talking about learning management system integration. Just like the other things, this does not require an extra Copilot license. This is just available to anyone with an academic SKUs. So this is not necessarily new, but it's good to reiterate. We now have a new Microsoft 365 LTI integration. And what LTI is just an acronym of an open standard that allows our tools like OneDrive and Class Notebook and Teams and Reading Coach all to plug into learning management systems. This is Canvas, you might have Schoology or Moodle or Brightspace or Blackboard. So we're bringing all of our tools into the learning management system that you use. And one of the things we also announced is that we're bringing Copilot Chat directly into that. So students or educators will be able to launch Copilot Chat right from within the LMS. Also, what is in preview right now, if you're using our AI-enhanced learning accelerators, so things like reading progress, speaker progress, math progress, etc., all of those now can work within an LTI-supported LMS. So here's an example of Schoology, but you don't even need to have Teams set up. You can now actually just run these learning accelerators directly in your LMS through that LTI app that I mentioned. And we've also recently rolled out Reading Coach. So if you want to have students launch Reading Coach directly from within the LMS and be embedded in the LMS, that works as well. And then the Copilot integration that we're working on will expand in the first half of 2026. So we'll make it even more integrated into the course. And maybe the most exciting announcement is that just like you saw those Teach module features, modify content, curriculum planning, homework and assessments, just like we had with that coming into M365 app, Teams for Education, OneNote class notebooks, we're also going to be able to bring that into this Microsoft 365 LTI app. So if you're in the learning management system and you want to create content, you'll be able to launch these same things and do all the same scenarios from within your LMS. So we think that'll be a great benefit for folks. Now I'm going to pass it over to Anoo Padte from our Microsoft Education Product Management team. She's going to talk about AI for learners.
Thank you, Mike. I'm going to walk you through our AI experiences for learners. I'm going to take you through 3 experiences. I'll talk about learning activities, then I'll talk about a newly announced study and learn agent, and then we'll do a quick touch base on Copilot notebooks and study guides in them. Now, first and foremost, learning activities are generally available. They're available for educators and students 13 plus to use. Again, no extra license required for them. They're available in all the Microsoft 365 SKUs. And they're available to begin with in the Teach module, like Max showed, and also in classwork, in Teams, like Leif was talking about. Now, the purpose of learning activities is really to make learning engaging and interactive. And now educators can create these activities and give them to their students to do review and practice. Very soon, students will be able to create their own activities as well in a standalone application that's going to be coming out very soon. So let's take a look at a few of them. Here's flashcards. So I can go ahead and upload any documents I have, any notes, and flashcards will be created as a student goes through. They can indicate, I know this, I don't know this, and the system is keeping track of that. When they're done, they'll be able to see their results. And to create them, the person can define the number of cards they want, whether they want hints or not. They can go back and do the whole set. And in the future, we'll be making these interactive as well. Interactive, but also adaptive as well. All right, let's take a look at fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks is fantastic for learning about different processes, for connecting different events, and so on. And so here's a fill in the blanks activity. The student drags the answers in there. You can make them more complex or less complex, the fill in the blanks activity, and then also look at the solution. And therefore you get some feedback on how you did, where your gaps might be. redo the activity. And again, like I mentioned, these will get adaptive over time. And then there's the matching activity. This activity is a lot of fun. It's another way to connect key terms and definition, but also connect concepts and ideas, to build analogies and so on. And this one has some gamification in it. So when you're all done, you'll see your results and you'll see them on a leaderboard. So you'll see how you're doing compared to your peers, but also it's a time-based activity. So you should see like how long you took to do the activity. There it is. And so it's sort of time-based. It encourages students to practice faster and get that automaticity that is so important for some types of facts that they're trying to learn. Next, let's take a look at the Study and Learn Agent. The Study and Learn Agent is going to go into preview later this fall. It will, again, not require an extra license. It's going to be available in all of the education SKUs. Now, what is the Study and Learn Agent? It is a conversational experience that is meant to really support students in developing their understanding. So it's going to help them understand things, practice, and also study. To help them understand, it won't give answers right away. It'll give explanations. It'll ask some questions. It's going to do micro checks. It's also going to have some open-ended questions to help really foster critical thinking and analytical thinking. And it will also smartly introduce these learning activities that you just saw. And I'll take you through a quick scenario in a moment. But that's the understand intent in it. It also has a practice intent where you can ask for a specific activity and practice with that activity, or you can study with study guides and quizzes. Now we're working with learning science experts to produce this, so it's not just Microsoft folks building this, and we're looking deeply at how learning science tells us about the ways in which people learn best. The Study and Learn Agent will be available in the Agent Store, but it's also going to be pre-installed and already pinned in the left rail of the M365 Copilot app. So there's no installation or deployment steps required for it. It will also be available as a mode, as a tool in the M365 Copilot chat. So wherever chat goes, it will be available by the time it goes to GA. Let's take a look quickly at a scenario of a person using it. So here we are in the agent. You can pick it from the tool drop down, like I mentioned, or go straight to the agent. And here's somebody who's going to try to understand something. They want to understand why the left ventricle of the heart is thicker than the right ventricle. I didn't know this when I first started looking into this. They got a diagram and then a question about what do you notice from the diagram? So a question to respond to, another explanation, a moment to pause and think about blood pressure and what that might have to do with the thickness of the left ventricle, another explanation. Now there's a few explanations that have happened, isn't it? And some questions have been asked. How about an interactive activity to explain why this might be the case? And then you get some feedback on whether you understood that right, and also the opportunity to analyze your mistakes. So there will be this moment where this person can go through, and I'm going to just go back for a moment. Here they completed this for the blanks activity, get some explanation of what they may have not understood. And as they go on from there, they can also ask for a study guide. And they'll get some pages with topic pages and summary pages, flashcards and quizzes. And then they can move on. And if they wanted to use this activity just on its own in a practice mode, there you have them. You can ask for flashcards on the anatomy of the heart. And as they do that, they can upload their own documents and flashcards will be produced, and then go through the flashcards, very similar to what you saw with the learning activities experience I walked through. And they can go back and do these on their own again. And then if they want to study, say, for example, if they want to study for a test, they can go ahead and say, I want to study for a test, upload some documents if they want. If they don't have any documents, that's okay. A quiz will be produced. So quizzes will be available in the Study and Learn agent. You'll get feedback on your quiz answers and the opportunity to get some more explanations and even a study guide if you want at the end of doing that quiz, so you can get ready for your test. So 3 intents in the Study and Learn agent: understand, practice with different activities, create study guides to study, take quizzes, and we'll be adding additional activities over time. Next, I'm going to quickly do a review of Copilot notebooks, which we talked about in the past. Now, Copilot notebooks do require the premium AI Copilot license. So this is a license, additional license feature. Now, what are Copilot notebooks? Copilot notebooks are a combination of OneNote, Copilot, and a piece of technology called Loop that we have at Microsoft that's great for collaboration. They are your place to bring together everything on a given topic, all your grounding documents and so on one particular topic. Could be for staff, could be for students to study a particular topic, and then create a bunch of artifacts to study that topic. So here you're an M365 Copilot app, click on notebooks. And the first thing you do is to create that notebook. Now, this is generally available already. Give it a name. Maybe it's the anatomy of the heart. We're keeping with the heart theme here. There's a description you give it, and then you can choose all your files that you want to bring into this notebook, like a binder space where you can look at different artifacts. Now, you see these different artifacts available to you. You can have a podcast or an audio overview, study guide, briefing doc, and so on. If you click on the audio overview, it will play a podcast for you. Now, within this, we have also built out the study guide feature that's going into preview in the next few weeks. You can get summary and topic pages, quizzes and flashcards. It also gives you deep dive topic pages. So here, once you select what you want, you get all the pages, go through the pages, summary, glossary in it, common misconceptions, deep dive on each of the topics. And that deep dive also has questions, it has examples, worked examples, exercises, all of that. So it's a pretty robust deep dive that you get on those topic pages. But then to check your understanding, you can also go and do those flashcards, and we'll be adding other activities as well. The experience stays the same that you saw in learning activities, that you saw in the study and learn agent. You can do flashcards here. You can also do quizzes in the study guide to check your understanding and continue studying. Now, Copilot notebooks are also a part of OneNote, and they integrated there. So they have the full OneNote binder structure to keep all your stuff together. That's available too. And therefore, they're also available in Class Notebook. And over time, we're going to make it possible for educators to distribute study guides to students. So that's it for the learner features. Now I'm going to pass it back to Mike.
IT admin, this is a really important one. I just saw in the chat people are asking about, hey, Copilot chat for students who are 13 plus, and things about the study guide and things about just Copilot chat. So Copilot chat is now available for students ages 13 and up. That went live this summer. There's some great documents and sort of instructions that Leif posted into the chat on how IT admins can set it up. And we've recently rolled out new tools to make it even easier. So this includes in School Data Sync in SDS, the ability to bulk manage student age groups and attributes. Maybe more importantly, we now have a Microsoft Education Tenant Identifier. So what that means is your IT admin can set it to be K through 12 or higher ed or others. And if you tag it as a K-12 tenant, everything in Copilot Chat for students is disabled completely by default. The only way to allow students who are 13 and up to use Copilot Chat and things like the Learn Agent is to actually define those age groups. So I define, these students 14 and 15. You upload a CSV, which is a Excel file that can just define really easily which students go in which group. Once you do that, then you can enable Copilot Chat and in the future the Learner Agent for all those things. And the good news is, and if you are not an IT admin but you know one, we're going to have a webinar next week where we go in depth on all these new configuration options and extensibility and security controls. And Bill Sluss and Jethro Seegers, who are colleagues of ours on the education team, they're going to be leading this webinar. And we're also going to record that webinar and post it onto the Microsoft Education YouTube channel. So watch for that. So almost to the end here, we've got two more short topics. One is Minecraft education. Read Smart, the AI detective. This is an amazing new Minecraft world that's all about AI literacy, media literacy, suitable for ages 8 to 14. And it's a really fun world where, again, it's a noir style detective narrative. They investigate cases of AI misuse, debunking manipulated content, other things like that. That's rolled out now. There's also an AI Foundations program on AI literacy. And so lots of really fun worlds here, building the basics, AI for good, AI in action and using the tools responsibly, and then AI in action using AI thoughtfully. So some great AI adventures from Minecraft. The Hour of Code has morphed into the Hour of AI, and so Microsoft's partnering with code.org for the Hour of AI event. A lot of great stuff coming on November 12th. There's going to be a new tutorial called Hour of AI the first night. So there's great information here. And again, this deck is going to be downloadable. We'll give you a link in just a moment. And then there's a Minecraft Education digital skilling program, preparing for AI, learning about AI, teaching with AI, and then credentialing and training. And there's different age ranges and personas. So younger students, middle schoolers, educators. So this is great material that the Minecraft team has been putting together on AI literacy. And then the final topic before the Q&A and the deck link to download. If you are interested in joining the Educator Insider program, we've got lots of folks. There's probably some insiders on this call right now. We share things like NDA roadmaps, product feedback to the product teams. Many of us get on calls in these Educator Insider programs and get early feedback. We run prototypes. We have regular webinars. And we have things like our EDU customer newsletter. And there's a giant private Microsoft team where all these education insiders can congregate. And we post updates and there's channels and all kinds of good stuff. So the link there is on the screen, hoping someone from our team can also post that into the chat. But you just fill out a form and there's some requirements. But if you want to join Education Insiders, join us. And just wrapping up, there's a bunch of links in this deck. AI Classroom Toolkit, Copilot Starter Kit, AI for Educators. There's some links here to blogs and videos. And then this is the deck that you can download. And so we'll also post that link into the chat.